Hey everyone, hope you are well. Just Heather here. Most coaches don't fail because they're bad at what they do. They fail because their business is manually run. They're answering the same questions, following up late, chasing payments, rebuilding systems every 6 months. And the worst part is they already pay for the tools, they just aren't automated correctly. So today I'm going to break down the only 5 automation tools that I actually use and how they all work together and why most coaches waste an entire year trying to figure this out on their own. So if you're a coach, a consultant, or an expert trying to scale without burnout, this will save you time, money, and sanity. This also works for service-based businesses as well. So a few years ago, my business looked successful from the outside, but behind the scenes, it was exhausting. I had leads coming in, clients booking calls, money flowing inconsistently, and everything relied on me. Remembering who to follow up with, what stage someone was in, whether a client was stuck, and whether someone had paid or not paid. Every day felt very reactive instead of proactive. I would wake up already behind and open up my laptop and immediately start putting out fires. So I did what most people do, and I added more tools and I watched more tutorials and research and research and research, and then joined more programs, tried to optimize everything. And eventually I realized something that changed how I built businesses forever. More tools don't create leverage, better systems do. Okay, better systems. So I stripped everything down to 5 tools, built the right automations around them, and stopped running my business manually. So let's move on to the first tool. The first tool is Go High Level. And this is the backbone of everything. It's kind of like my tool belt, just like someone who fixes roofs or something would have their tool belt. This Go High Level is like my tool belt. And most people treat Go High Level like a fancy contact list, but that's a really big mistake. And I see this constantly. And coach will tell me, I already have high level. It's actually high level. They call it GHL, Go High Level. But when I look inside, there's no clear pipelines, no logic behind the automations, and no structure that actually reflects how people buy. Excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold. But leads come in, but then nothing happens unless the coach manually intervenes. So here's a mistake story I see all the time. A coach runs an ad or post content, leads start flowing in, they get excited, but because the CRM isn't structured properly, leads are tagged inconsistently, follow-ups are generic, and nobody knows who's hot, who's not, or anything like that. So what happens is hot leads go cold. Qualified prospects never hear back. And the coach assumes that the problem is traffic, and it's not. The problem is the system doesn't think for itself. What most coaches do wrong with high level is they build automations like checklists inside of decision trees. They say, if someone opts in, send these 5 emails, but they never ask the real question or questions like, what if this person books a call immediately? What if they click but they don't book? What if they ghost? Or what if they reply with a question? So everyone gets the same experience regardless of intent. And that's not automation. That's bulk messaging with software, basically. So when Go High Level is automated correctly, everything changes. Everything, like every lead is routed based on behavior. Every follow-up is contextual. Every pipeline stage exists for a reason. So instead of guessing who to follow up with, the system tells you. Instead of reacting to chaos, you respond to signals. You stop chasing people and you start having conversations at the right time. That alone removes hours of mental load every single week. And it's getting better and better because of AI. And now we can build these agents. It's just getting more and more intricate. It's amazing. Um, the second tool is ChatGPT. Okay, but not the way most people use it. Most coaches use ChatGPT like a copywriter. They ask it to write captions, emails, hooks, or content ideas, and that's helpful, but it barely scratches the surface. The problem with using ChatGPT correctly is you don't know what you don't know. A lot of people have a lot of stuff up in their blind spot. They hear these things over and over again on the internet, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do that," or they use a prompt that was good for somebody else, but it doesn't really work for them. Because you have to train ChatGPT to know who you are, know your business, know your offer, and then the prompts have to be specifically around that, right? I use ChatGPT to remove decision fatigue, basically. So another mistake story is I used to go into sales calls with 10 tabs open. I'd have like CRM notes, form responses, message to threads, random reminders. I'd spend 5 to 10 minutes just trying to remember who I was talking to and why they booked the call. By the time the call started, I was already drained. So multiply that by multiple calls per day, and you're exhausted before the real work even begins. And what most coaches do wrong is they use AI reactively instead of strategically. So they ask questions like, what should I post today? Instead of, what decision would move the business forward right now? When ChatGPT is automated correctly, it becomes this thinking partner. But again, you have to know how to train it. And if you don't know what you don't know, how are you gonna train it properly? So before a call, I get a clean summary. Okay, where the lead came from, what content they engaged with. And I also use what's it called? Fathom, which is amazing too. So I use them hand in hand. But also I go into like what problem they think they have, what objections they're likely carrying. So after a call, I don't manually recap. AI helps summarize whether the lead was qualified, whether they're a now, later, or never, and what follow up path actually makes sense for that particular client or prospect. For clients, AI helps spot patterns too. Well, and for prospects. But if someone is disengaging or falling behind or repeating the same issue, the system flags it early before that churn happens. So when this is set up correctly, you stop reacting. You stop carrying everything in your head and you show up sharper, calmer, more confident, because decisions are supported, not improvised. So the third tool I use is Google Calendar. It's free, and it connects well with high level. And this is where the deals really quietly die. This one sounds basic, but it's one of the biggest revenue leaks I see. And it's amazing because I have a client right now and we're converting her from just pad and pen and paper. Like how did she's very confused about how many calendars she needs to create, and because she's never done this before. And we're in 2026. So you'd be surprised how many people have not used these automated tools. They're still manually writing in things in the calendar, taking calls, doing all the payments manually, all this stuff. So we're converting her onto a calendar system where she has one page. All her clients can go there and click on whatever service she's providing for them. She's a healer, so she's got a lot of different things that she offers, kind of like a spa. So we just set it up like a spa, right? Do you want to 30-minute, 60-minute, 90-minute session, right? And they just click on it and it goes. And we're just setting it up once in the back end. And once it's set up with all going to one Google Calendar. Once it's booked, nobody else can overlap. That's it. It's going to make her life so much easier. So again, mistake story from me. A lead. Oh, it says it's connected there or not. It says, oops, connection is lost, reconnecting. I don't know. Well, hopefully everything's still there. But anyway, by the time the call actually gets booked, the emotional momentum is gone. So what most coaches do wrong is they treat scheduling like logistics instead of conversion. So every extra step between interest and a booked call just kills the momentum. So when you use the Google Calendar, when it's automated correctly and integrated into your system, bookings become frictionless. People can book while you're sleeping. Doesn't matter, right? They book while you're sleeping, then all the reminders can happen while you're sleeping as well, or while you're busy helping another client or doing whatever it is that you need to do. You don't have to worry about it. It's just all automated. It can also follow up. We have AI agents that we train to call and confirm, or to call and gather information if we need more information. Maybe somebody goes to book and they drop off. We have an AI kick in that will phone them and ask them, hey, is everything okay? Did you not find something that works for you, type of thing, and then find a solution to lead them into a call. So that's a lot of lost revenue that would be lost if we didn't have that AI agent reaching out, or it replaces uh manual stuff that either you or your secretary or whoever would have to do. Maybe aging myself, secretary, VA, I don't know. But anyway, instead of all that manual follow-up, the appointment setter, right? A physical appointment setter, you can have an appointment setter for pennies, less, pennies instead of $20 an hour type of thing, do all the heavy lifting and get people back into booking with you. But anyway, it's so much easier, right? Someone clicks, they pick a time, get reminders, show up, and they show up prepared. And then reschedules are also handled automatically if some, life happens, things come up. So if they need to reschedule automatically, no shows drop automatically, nobody's chasing anyone. When this is automated properly, you don't just save time, you protect revenue, because the easier it is to take the next step, the more people actually take it. Make sense? So if you're here with me in the comments, let me know if this makes sense, or let me know if you have any questions or anything like that. And then we'll move on to the next tool. We've got a little bit of a late start today, so having some technical difficulties, but we figured it out. Anyway, this will be on a replay anyway. Okay, let's move on to the fourth tool, and that is Stripe. So Stripe is a payment processor. Most coaches say that they use Stripe, but what they really mean is they accept payments. So that's not automation, right? And here's another mistake story I see constantly. A coach signs a client, sends a payment link manually, and waits. Sometimes the payment goes through, sometimes it fails, sometimes it gets forgotten. Then comes the awkward follow-up. Hey, just checking in on that invoice, that's not scalable. So what most coaches do wrong is they separate money from systems. So payments should trigger actions automatically. When Stripe is automated correctly, everything just flows. So subscriptions run without effort. Failed payments retry automatically. If it doesn't go through, it'll retry it again. Receipts are sent instantly. Onboarding triggers the moment that the money clears, right? So money comes in, they automatically get sent next steps or email or whatever it is that they need to do. So there's no chasing, and there's no awkward messages. There's no stalled momentum. And then it's just set up on repeat, rinse and repeat. So it goes, every week, every month, whatever you set it up, that auto pay to be. So when money is automated, what else, right? Stabilizes your revenue. Your revenue stabilizes, and stable revenue changes everything. So it changes how you sell, how you lead, how you think about growth. Make sense? The fifth tool is Vimeo. And this is where scale actually happens. So one mistake that I've seen again and again is when a coach onboards every client live, explains the same process, answers the same questions. They feel busy, they feel helpful, but they also feel trapped. So what most coaches do wrong is they equate live time with value, and that's simply not true. A lot of people say, "Oh, I want one-on-one coaching." And it's like, why though? Why do you what's the difference? You don't really want one-on-one coaching. What you really want is the result that the coaching allows you to obtain, right? So if you find yourself repeating yourself over and over and over again, having that one-on-one coaching it doesn't make a difference, right? It's like you do need to be available for questions and to be able to customize and tailor um, things to specific businesses and specific people, because every business and every person is different. And their overall arching goals are different, their ideal clients are different, or whatever it is that you help them with. Um, so I do meet with my clients one-on-one, but in a group setting, so that we can go deep into that stuff. But anything that's repetitive that I would teach every single person, because like there's that framework, right? I always say there's the foundation that needs to be laid, and then there's a framework, and then everything needs to kind of fit around that framework. So the foundation that needs to be laid and the framework that can all be recorded trainings, right? For whatever you do too. I'm sure that's the same thing with whatever you're doing. If you're in the health space, wellness space, relationship space, spiritual space, there's a foundation that you help your clients build. And that's going to be similar, maybe not exactly the same, but similar from client to client to client, right? Then you probably have the similar framework too that you teach everybody. But then, like, all my clients are a little bit different. All your clients are probably a little bit different. But I'm sure you find yourself repeating yourself over and over and over again. And when you do, or when you find people have questions over time, like I still get questions over time, and I just like I notice when people are asking over and over again. If as soon as I get three people asking the same thing, I'll just make a video and record the answer and add it to the training, because that's going to be coming up from other people as well. Does that make sense? So when video is automated correctly, your business becomes consistent, and every client gets the same high quality onboarding or high quality training. Every explanation is clear and repeatable. Every expectation is set once, right? So one great video replaces hundreds and hundreds of conversations and hundreds of hours of your physical time, which you can never get back. And more importantly, it frees you to focus on what actually moves the business forward. Because here's the truth: most coaches already have those tools, but they're disconnected, partially built, or duct taped together. So the coach becomes the system. And that's why people waste a year tweaking, fixing, rebuilding, and starting over. Not because they're incapable, but because automation takes stress. So if you want this set up properly, end to end, without losing the next year trying to figure out how to do it, I actually offer a free automation assessment. So what we'll do is we'll look at what you already have, what's working, what's broken, and what should be automated next. And no pressure, there's no pricing talk or anything, there's just clarity. So if you want something like that for your business, if you want clarity around how you can set up these systems properly around your business to save tons and tons of time, and save money, because you don't need a whole bunch of different platforms. You can have one, and you don't need to hire a whole bunch of people for appointment setting. You can have, for $20+ an hour, you can have an AI generated appointment setter that's almost better than an appointment setter, because you train it and then it remembers. It doesn't get sick, and take sick days. It doesn't go on vacation. It doesn't quit, and then you have to train somebody else again. It learns the first time. So it ends up costing, seriously, pennies on the dollar, like something like 75 cents an hour or less, something like that, versus $20 plus, to get even better results than an appointment setter would. Believe me, I've gone through 13 appointment setters, like real live people appointment setters, before I switched to this AI bot, and it's a game changer. It's like 1,500 bucks a month, and full-time 24/7 employee. And it's amazing if you've got not just a brick and mortar business, but if you get appointments set from around the world. Again, there's no time. It doesn't sleep or anything either. So that's cool too. So anyway, if you're interested in that, just click on the link in the description to book your free assessment. Because automation isn't about doing more, it's about removing that friction so that your business can finally scale without carrying everything. So if this helped, subscribe, like this video, and I will see you in the next video. And That's it. That's it for today. Hope that helped a lot. And as always, feel free to comment below if you have any questions about your business, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed or confused about anything in your business, about how to automate systems, how to save time, how to go deeper with your clients, anything, let me know. Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you would like me to talk about anything in another video. So that's it for today. Have a great day and check out that next video. I will see you